Reaching the summit of Mount Apo has been one of my dreams ever since I discovered how much I love hiking. And after 2 months of consistently showing up for my training, I'm finally here, trying to reach the highest place in the Philippines. We fly from Cebu to Davao early in the morning, drop off our things at our Airbnb, and by 1 p.m., we are on the van with the group, making our way to the jump-off point for Mount Apo. From there, we hike up to the mountain village, settle in for the night, grab some food, and try to get some sleep, knowing that in just a few hours, we're about to start the climb. After breakfast, we gather outside for a quick orientation before the climb begins.
Okay. Gikan to sa boulders madung summit. Kaya pa yun ni siya mga 3 ka oras. Layo-layo pa yun siya. So kung makasayo ta sa summit, kung maabot ta diri mga 7, pwede ta maka-tripik.
And even while I'm listening, I can already feel myself shifting into a more focused state. I know this is going to be difficult, and even though I've prepared physically for this, I don't want to underestimate the mountain. So I just keep telling myself that no matter what happens, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get to the top. By 12:30 a.m., we start walking, and it's honestly darker than I expected as we make our way through this open farm. Their flashlights give up pretty early, so we end up relying on mine the entire time. And it's actually really bright, like impressively bright. Brighter than my life decisions right now.
Awa ko flashlight. Ay, kayo.
Ato ba kayo mong no?
The landscape shifts from dense rainforest into this misty environment where everything is covered in thick moss, from the branches to the roots. And even though it looks beautiful, I know it's also an important ecosystem that supports rare species, including the Philippine eagle. By 3 a.m., we reach Camp 1 and take a short break while waiting for the rest of the group. But this is also when I really start to feel the cold.
It's currently 3:12 in the morning, and we just arrived here at Camp 1, and then we'll be heading to Camp 2 in a few minutes. So yeah, it's very cold here, guys. If ganahan sad mo hike of Mount Apo, layer your clothing para dili kay tugnaw when you reach Camp 1. Inig pahuway. See you at Camp 2. We've arrived here at Camp 2. It's already 4:30 in the morning. We left Camp 1 at around 3:30. So it's an hour hike from Camp 1 to Camp 2.
By around 5 a.m., the sun starts to rise. And for a moment, it feels like a relief. Like maybe the hardest part is already behind us.
So, kung saan yung experience mo? Arrived here at the boulders. It's already almost 5 a.m. This is it. This is the last stretch until the summit. Just luck.
But as we move forward, the terrain begins to change again, and we start to smell sulfur coming from the ground. This is where it becomes more real, because Mount Apo is a dormant volcano, and that sulfur isn't just part of the scenery. It's actually a toxic gas that can be harmful in high concentrations. We enter the boulder section, and this is where things really start to feel different. It's rock after rock, steep and uneven, and it becomes hard to know where to step because you can't always see what's on the other side. It starts to feel endless, and I can feel the fatigue slowly building. Because we're a big group and we don't always have a guide with us, we are left to figure things out on our own, choosing each step without fully knowing if it's the right one. And somewhere in that moment, I realize how similar this feels to life, where you don't always see what's ahead, but you still have to take the next step anyway, because sometimes the path only reveals itself after you decide to keep going. This boulder section ends up being the longest part for me, not because it's technical, but because it just doesn't stop, with no flat ground to rest on. By this point, the sun is already up and I can really start to feel the heat. Between the sun above and the sulfur coming from the ground, everything just feels hotter and more draining. Still at the boulders. Grabe. It's like endless incline. But we're almost to the summit, so it's fine. But see? Look at my view. So beautiful. As we continue ascending, the landscape slowly starts to change. And it almost feels like we're in a completely different place. There are no more trees, just rocks, open sky, and these small patches of greens. The sky is so blue, and the contrasts of the white rocks and the green bushes, it just doesn't even feel real anymore. At some point, I reached this section just before the final steep climb, and I decided to rest there for a bit. Still waiting for them. It's been maybe 10-15 minutes. And yeah, that's the very last stretch to the summit. So I'm waiting for them here. Honestly, achievements feel different when you don't do them alone. It's so much sweeter when you've gone through it with someone else. When you've struggled, pushed through, and reached the top together. It's not just your win anymore. You're celebrating theirs, and they're celebrating yours too. And I think that's really beautiful. From there, it's one last steep climb, and then finally the summit. At last, finally, we made it to the summit. Kapoy, guys. Kangid siya. Extreme hike. So, you really need to prepare your body before you come here. Otherwise, di gid mo makasamit. But yeah, thanks for joining us today. Sunod na pod. Bye! We sit there, we eat the burger we've been saving, and just take it all in. I think what this climb really showed me is that the things that feel biggest and the scariest aren't always as impossible as they seem. And once you're in it, you realize you're more capable than you thought.
Hi.
On the way down, I keep thinking, how did we even climb this in the dark? Now that I can actually see it, it feels even steeper, to the point where I have to sit just to step down.
Godspeed, we travel with hope in our minds. Loose rain, the sky and the wind are only guide. Wild sea, we are all strangers to this land. No map, no promise but the light of from.
Whew. It's 11:43 and we are still hiking through the boulders, going down. We are heading back now to Camp 1. Camp 2 and then Camp 1 and then our homestay. This is my view. I'm not sure if you can hear that sound, but it sounds like water coming from there. Na magawas na sulfur sa mga bato diha. So, I don't know. I'm curious if naay hot spring. Okay, it sounds like water. So, done with the boulders. Next stop is Big Rock. And then it should be not that bad from here. That was the hardest for sure. Because it's already hot. It was okay this morning because it was cold. So nana ta sa foresty na side. Part.
Rolling into the great unknown. Every step leads away from home.
Just reached Camp 1. We're still waiting for our friend Kim. But Camp 1 looks different in the afternoon. Yeah. Because this morning there were a lot of tents. And now there's only a few that you can count. It's a nice place. But yeah, still cold. It was very, very cold this morning. We just finished our hike. It's already
3:43.
Oh, 3:43. So we're gonna ride a motorcycle to the homestay, and then we'll have to wait for our other people from our group so that we can head to Davao City.
The town?
Go back to Davao City. Alright, that's it folks for today. Thank you so much for watching.